over on Disney Plus, arriving on Saturday, the 2nd of November, we have a new feature-length documentary called Endurance. And here's a clip.
In 1914, Shackleton was convinced the greatest Antarctic journey was yet to be done, crossing the Antarctic continent from one side to the other. So he dragged his men on a doomed quest.
We tried once before in 2019 to search for the Endurance. It felt like my whole life had been converging upon that moment, and then it all went wrong.
Well, Endurance was the name of Ernest Shackleton's ship, and Shackleton famously attempted to cross Antarctica, but the expedition went seriously wrong. His ship was crushed by the pack ice and sank, but miraculously he managed to save his entire crew, but they just went through the most horrific ordeal before finally being rescued. And that whole story, which is an amazing story, people may be familiar with it, but it's retold by Dan Snow, who is also on board a modern-day expedition to look for the wreck. And what makes the retelling all the more vivid is that they've used AI, we've got the old AI again, to sort of bring to life the diaries of the crew members. And you've also got the amazing film footage that was actually shot on the original expedition. They took a filmmaker with them, and it just looks incredible. Then you're also going to get the story of the search for the wreck, which equally has its ups and downs. There was a previous attempt, but the submersible that goes down to look for the wreck, that was lost. So they've got a new one now. There's sort of like a false dawn when they think they've discovered it, and no, it's not. It's just a debris field. And then, I mean, it's not really a spoiler because it's been in all the newspapers that they did finally, just they were running out of time, they found the wreck, and the images of it are quite astonishing because it's very, very well preserved, partly because of the very cold water. And you can see, like, on the deck, you can see these personal effects, like you see someone's boot, you can see a flare gun. It's astonishing. And so both the modern day story of the search for the wreck and the retelling of Shackleton's incredible journey are intertwined really effectively, and it's a very, very good watch. And it did actually get a cinema release as well. So yeah, this is for history buffs. It's really worth a look. What did you think, Hannah?
I find things like this incredibly chilling. You know, when you see, like you say, so everything's so well preserved, really, and that boot, and you know, just the gun. It kind of, I don't know, it just makes you. What went through my head is what people have gone through, and you know what secrets are held under the ocean. I suppose it kind of almost fits into the David Attenborough, doesn't it? What's going on in the ocean. In fact, again, there's shipwrecks everywhere, aren't there? And they've got a real eerie. I don't know if you ever swum around any, but they're eerie. There's something about it. And this sort of did it. Got to put the hairs on the back of my neck came up, and but really interesting, and also kind of this race against time to find it, and the fact they kind of saw a bit. I suppose they counted their chickens a bit early and they hadn't quite hatched until they did finally find it. So yeah, it's got a real pace about it. And if you don't know much about it, you'll learn a lot. And if you do know about it, then this will absolutely interest you.